About 30 minutes north of Atlanta is the historic city of Roswell, Georgia. Today I am joined by longtime resident and realtor David Landsman to talk a little bit more about why Roswell, Georgia is the place to be right now. So David, from what I understand, you've been here for about 10 years. You've lived here in the area. You also work here as well.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit more about why this is the place to be.
Well, first off, welcome to my city. This is one of the most friendly cities I've ever been across in my entire life. I've lived everywhere, all over the country. And I've really found a home in Roswell, and I think that anybody that visits this place immediately feels a home, whether they live here or not. Home to over 90,000 people. This is actually the 9th largest city in Georgia, but it has a very, very quaint feel. As you can see, we're right here on Canton Street, and the city's really dedicated to beautifying everything about Roswell. They hold events for families. They support businesses. There's active nightlife, awesome restaurants. Another huge attraction to the city of Roswell is the safety. The police are active here. They're very, very friendly. They do a lot with the schools in the area. I think, and even the residents, that's a big attraction to the safety of the city. No one go over to my house and break in, but there's many times when I feel very safe leaving and my doors are unlocked.
So we're gonna go to David's house after this, right?
But I think a lot of people feel like that, and what better place to live than a place that you feel that safe?
So let's talk a little bit more about the parks and the greenways where people can go. Can you tell us like a little bit more
Well,
specifically?
we're in one right now. The city of Roswell actually does an event once a month. They close down the streets. There's families here pushing strollers. Businesses can come showcase themselves. They set up tents. There's also several other green spaces down the road. There's Willis Park. There's a lot of different areas around Roswell that you can just go enjoy and you can have a picnic. I would say upwards of 20 different areas that are green spaces, family-friendly environments, playgrounds. It's just a great family feel if you want that kind of Mayberry-ish feeling of back home.
So Roswell, Georgia is a very historical place. David, tell us a little bit more about the history of the city.
Absolutely. Earlier you guys visited the mill, which is probably what Roswell's known for. All the waterways and gateways coming through here. It was a destination for business owners to set up mills, right? For wheat, for grain. Back in around 1830, Roswell King came through the city and said this is the ideal place to open up mills. So you can see where that would transfer over into the industry that was created in Roswell. And once businesses are established, they seldom don't go anywhere. And it actually attracts more and more residents to this area to explosion of growth.
Now, David, I would really love to just hear a little bit more about just the businesses and the places that are here that mean so much to you in Roswell, Georgia.
Well, one of the reasons why I moved here was actually because of the restaurants and all the activity and the proximity to everything. But I know the owners over at 1920. We could probably pop in, say hi, and tell us a little bit about why she opened down here and why she chose Roswell to make her restaurant home.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Hey guys, well I'm down here at one of my favorite restaurants, like I said, 1920 Tavern, and look who it is, Jenna Aronowitz. She's actually the owner of 1920 Tavern, and she is from just down the street from...
South Africa.
Wow. All the way from South Africa, and she chose Roswell. Why did you choose Roswell to open up your business?
Well, we chose Roswell because we absolutely love the community here. It's very unique to find a community so
it really is tight-knit.
And loving and caring, and that they really take care of the community.
Absolutely.
So that's why we chose
It's
Roswell.
almost like the sense that you get when you're walking around. And even from the first time, I have to admit this, you have a huge, amazing personality, a very loving, warm heart. You know that the minute you meet her. But I remember the first time that I came there, you just accepted me in like I was family. I have been at this restaurant my entire life. And I think it wasn't just me. You treat everybody. I've seen it. Yeah. Matter of fact, my wife came here the other night for dinner, and she was doing something outside. And I said, just look for Jenna. And you immediately was like, get in. She was like, who is it? Who are these people? But it's everybody. You treat everybody like that. And I think it is the whole feeling of Roswell that is why
100%.
Is why it's so successful here.
100%. And you know, we're in the hospitality business.
Right.
And a lot of people forget that people choose to come
Sure.
to your restaurant, and it's got to be hospitable. So,
Absolutely.
But that is the charm of Roswell. So 1920 was born because we come from South Africa, where everything's made from scratch.
Awesome.
We don't like chains, we don't like pre-made things.
Sure.
So our entire menu is made from scratch. Our dressings, our sauces. On a Saturday night would be the biggest fight between me and my husband. Where are we gonna eat? Because nowhere would we find where it was family owned or the food was made from scratch, and I'm a vegetarian, and so there was never an option for both of us.
Right.
Where 1920 we have vegetarian, gluten-free, everything's made from scratch. We have no storage, so everything comes in fresh every day, and that's how we got 1920, and that's where the basis of 1920 came from.
Sure.
There's multiple different types of people, and yeah, you want to attract everybody.
100%.
So,
Well, I think you've absolutely done that with your restaurant. I think you guys have done that with just the people in the city of Roswell, and I think it's just such an amazing fit for what Roswell's about. So
Yeah.
I appreciate your time today. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Always
David.
great to see you.
Thanks, man.
Definitely a must-see when you come to Roswell.
So now I am here with Spirit from Spirited, clothing boutique here in downtown Roswell. So Spirit, tell us a little bit about your store.
Well, it's the most fabulous, of course.
Of
That's
course.
a given. Our store's a little bit different. There's a couple boutiques down on Canton. Ours sort of sets itself apart because about 90% of the jewelry we actually make. It's my artwork, my paintings we create in our studio in Marietta. And then the clothes and everything just kind of complements and flows with it. The building we're in has a lot of history. It was an old service station, so it kind of has these little nooks that you meander around when you kind of sweep in and out of the store, and you get to see different little things. So it's not new, it's kind of old and funky, but that's good. So
I love
that's
it.
kind of a little bit synapse of it. It's a little different. We got clothes, jewelry, shoes, bags, everything.
I love it. And so why did you guys choose to put your store in downtown Roswell?
Well, Roswell, I absolutely love it. It's not my first, it's my second store. My first is Woodstock, and this is my second baby, and I really wanted a store here, and it's really hard, unless you're a restaurant, to even get in downtown Roswell. And when I saw this available, I called, and I was so excited that we got this location because it was different, and all the downtowns I wanted to hit. I wanted to do Woodstock, Alpharetta, Roswell, and Marietta. So the little stores I felt were kind of funky with the downtowns, and so this was my second. It's been here about 7 years. My most interesting store as far as layout and stuff. I love to support downtown. I wouldn't go in a mall or a traditional retail. I just think the energy of a downtown area and the history and the people and the support of the community is just what I always want for my stores and locations.
So important, and we love it. And if you've never been here, you should definitely come check it out. It is so cool the way that the store intertwines. You can weave in and out of the different rooms here. So definitely come and check them out. It is called Spirited in downtown Roswell. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for joining us, Spirit.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
So just down the street from where we were on Canton Street, we're now on Oak Street with the owner, Scott Harb of Oak Street Bottle Shop. And this is kind of a unique place. I mean, sometimes it's like, is this even Roswell? I actually stumbled upon this place almost by accident. I was at a location, I heard some live music, and I just started walking down the street, and lo and behold, I came around the corner and I saw a tent set up. There was live music, there was kids, there was families, and I ran into Scott, and he just welcomed me with open arms, like everybody in Roswell. I just wanted to know more about your shop because it's such a unique place to be, and I don't think there's anything like it that I've ever been to, not only in Roswell, but anywhere in the state of Georgia.
Well, I mean, that's nice of you, David. And I remember the very first time that you guys came around, and we had a lot of folks who would be at the restaurant below us, Whiskey Project, and they would hear the music and come up.
Yeah.
I think the most unique thing when you say what's unique about Oak Street is really the people.
It is.
And as you know, there are certain places that you can go in Roswell and you can just you can sit, you can relax with your friends, but it's sometimes hard to bring 10 or 12 people, especially with children. So I think that was one of the biggest
also
draws.
unannounced too, right?
Oh yeah, no
like a lot of places,
reservations
no
needed whatsoever.
reservations. You can bring your whole family here, and you're going to be standing there with open arms saying, "Get in here, let's go."
And people, I think, enjoy that just little bit of special attention, and it's exhausting sometimes, but we embrace that, and we love it, and that's how you build relationships. That's how you build long-term customers and clients. So
Absolutely.
it's been a real blessing for us, for sure.
One of the coolest things, and I want you to tell us about this, is you have Bibles and Brews.
We do.
And which is just such a cool concept. I mean, I'm a Christian, and I loved seeing that. I haven't been yet. I've been meaning to get out. I have a 4-year-old little girl, so I can't get out as much as I possibly can. But it's definitely on my list. Tell me a little bit about that program, how it's going. I mean, it's got to attract tons of people, right?
Well, I mean, I'm a believer, so I've been a believer of Jesus Christ since October 31st of 1988. So people that come into this bottle shop know my faith.
Sure.
And I had a friend of mine at Johnson Ferry Baptist Church who is the global pastor, and he's always kind of wanted to do a discipleship somewhere other than church, and what better place than partner with us. And we had a Bible study on Monday nights, and we called it Bible and Brews.
Well, again, businesses helping businesses. Thank you, Scott, so much for having us out here today.
My pleasure.
Appreciate you. I appreciate you having your facility because I love coming here. Hopefully, I'll see you Saturday.
Come anytime.
And again, you owe it to yourself if you're in downtown Roswell to make it over just off Canton Street to Oak Street and visit Scott over here at Oak Street Bottle Shop.
That'd be awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
So, David, we have just had a great day here in Roswell, Georgia. We have met a lot of awesome business owners and learned a lot about the history of Roswell, Georgia.
It really was an amazing day. From the people that we met, the restaurants, the stores. You know, I'm a little bit partial because I do live here and I love this city. It's the most favorite place that I've ever lived in my entire life. And it comes from the people. The people start with it all, right?
Of course.
But I'm a little bit of a history buff, so I didn't realize how much history there was. So I really loved exploring that. And it was just an amazing day. If you have never been to Roswell, you owe it to yourself to get up here. I don't care if it's because you're hungry, if you're thirsty, if you want to see some good history, or just meet some amazing people, you owe it to yourself to visit Roswell, Georgia.
Exactly. And if you liked this video, we'll definitely be putting more out like this. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, share, all the things. Thank you so much for joining us today in Roswell, Georgia.
Appreciate you visiting me and my city.